your places.
We're ready in here, sir.
How are we in the studio?
Stand by, sir. Hit the lights.
Yes, sir. Striking.
Quiet on the set, please. We're on in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey,
how
don't
are
be
you?
afraid. It's just us, your live
We made it.
Legos here. Your live Lego folks. Welcome to the Arlington Weekly News. I'm Craig Nolan. Thanks for joining us.
Are you sure? I might still
And I'm
be
Daniel.
on assignment.
And I'm Daniel Pineda. You're on assignment, right?
My name's Adele Quo, or am I a Lego?
Lego my ego. Lego my Lego. Well, here we go with another edition of the Arlington Weekly News. Is this not quite our last show in September 2017?
Second to last.
Flying by here, and boy, I hope you're enjoying the heat. A late blast of summertime.
Kind of like an
is
equinox almost,
rolled
right?
in upon us.
Coming
Yes.
up on some
And the fall equinox, not the equinox. What is the first day of fall is coming
first day
up.
of fall. something
Shortly.
like that.
Shortly.
Need the 70s.
Yes. Well, we have our usual stuff, news and community bulletin board, and Adele is here with
It's
easy
being
green. Very good. We've
Wow,
been
we got
practicing,
Yay.
practicing, and we
It's only been
almost
a
got it
couple
right.
years.
Back from assignment. We're glad you're back, Adele, and you had a safe travel, a safe trip.
Yeah,
Arizona.
wonderful, wonderful.
Back from your
Lucky.
assignment.
And Canyon Ranch.
Denise Pringle is here also. She's reviewing Driving Miss Daisy on tonight's show, our News for Seniors segment, and then our very own Styrofoam mom, Miriam Gennari, and her guest. And that's our show. But before we go, a social media reminder. From
Absolutely, Mr. Nolan. You can watch the Arlington Weekly News on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Arlington Weekly News. And you guessed it, guys, the number 1. Also, facebook.com/Arlington Weekly News. And also on the radio, right, Craig?
On the radio at WERA 96.7 LP FM.
Can't forget the LP.
Stay a while. Don't switch that dial. All right, here we go with the first of our news items. News for Seniors glasses in place. Thank you, Mary. Well, as promised last week, here's an update on the last week of Club Iota down in Clarendon on Sunday, September 23. The back alley opens at 3 in the afternoon, and then at 8:30 in the evening, you can catch a live performance by Derek Every with The Accidents. There's an admission, $10. And then on Sunday, September 24, back alley opens again at 3 in the afternoon. Iota will be closed Monday and Tuesday, but then reopen on Wednesday, September 27th at 5. And they'll hold their final open mic night with sign-ups beginning at 7:30 until 10 p.m. with the show starting around 8 p.m. and Iota goes until about 2 a.m. And admission for open mic night, here's the best part, it's free. So check that out at Club Iota. Here with more on Club Iota is Senor Pineda.
Well, you can't beat free, right, Craig?
Can't beat free.
Well, Craig, on Thursday and Friday, that's September the 28th and 29th, there will be 2 $15 shows featuring Last Train Home with special guests. Both events start at 7:30 p.m. Iota has plans to go out with the band on September the 30th with a grand closing event. For more information, visit the website. That's at iotaclubcafe.com. There, you may notice their motto, live music forever. Although Iota does not plan to reopen, perhaps live music will still live on somewhere else.
And hopefully it will. All right, thanks, Daniel. Here we go. Also in our news items, well, the Arlington County Board has decided not to approve a plan for a bed and breakfast establishment in the Lion Park neighborhood. The property has 9 bedrooms, of which 5 were to be designated for commercial use. Objections to the proposal included potential traffic problems as well as a precedent set by allowing a commercial establishment in what is largely a residentially zoned neighborhood. County Board members Jay Fassett, Katie Cristall, and John Weistat voted against the measure, or the plan rather. The owners of the house have been unsuccessful in attempts to sell the house, which was assessed at a value of about $4 million. They may try to recoup some of their investment via Airbnb, which allows short-term rentals. Daniel.
Well, Craig, the county board also approved a $100,000 allocation for the Legal Aid Justice Center to help immigrants who live in Arlington. Arlington is the first jurisdiction in Virginia to create a specific funding source for legal representation for immigrants facing deportation. However, Arlington's representatives have also made it clear the county is not technically a sanctuary jurisdiction. There are currently over 450 immigrants in need of legal aid.
All right, Daniel, that's good information. And we'll be back with our CBB, Community Bulletin Board file, right after we hear from Adele Quo. And
It's easy being green. Hey, Adele.
Great, welcome.
Back from assignment.
I am
welcome
happy to
back,
be back.
Adele. Good to have you back.
You're
Talk
charged
about-
up now.
I am refreshed and ready to talk about solar on my mind. But it's not what you think. Having just returned from sunny, dry Tucson, where I stayed in a solar-powered guest house near the U of A, and my first and last image of Tucson is their new 2-acre solar canopy parking lot at the Tucson International Airport. It's a vast field of gleaming blue raised solar panels angled just so, like they're standing at attention and saluting, with red rooftops against a mountainous backdrop and bright blue sky. Eventually, vegetated green walls will be added, and the 20-foot tall solar arrays will eventually cover the entire 12-acre main terminal parking lot. The latest green news and events around Arlington inform us that the Greater Arlington Solar Co-op's October 1st deadline is fast approaching. Open to residents of Arlington, Alexandria, and Fairfax County. Learn more about going solar at a discount on their website, www.virginiasun.org/greater-Arlington. It makes perfect sense for sunshiny Tucson to harness solar, since they get more than 3,800 hours of sun each year, and the sun-drenched city makes a bunch of top 10 lists for the sunniest cities in the world, not just the U.S. Tucson, Arizona averages 286 sunny days per year compared to 201 sunny days per year in Arlington. Back in March 2015, D.C. ranked among the drearier cities in the nation, alongside other gray and rainy peers such as Detroit and Chicago. Arlington averages 43 inches of rain per year, above the U.S. average of 39 inches per year, compared to Tucson, which only gets 12 inches of rain per year. Joe Tree Frog, my mascot, thinks these simple stats should tell you: harness nature's resources based on locality. In our wetter, only 56% annual possible sunshine, some even say our dreary area, solar should share your roof real estate with a green or living vegetated roof to help manage our stormwater runoff in addition to harnessing the sun. Green roofs and solar power make a difference even in small homes. A 540 square foot green roof at 14th and W Streets Northwest captures 8,640 gallons of rainfall. Be a pioneer in green roof-solar power technology. The Green Home Choice Program participants may be eligible for funding to support voluntary green roof projects through the Stormwater Wise Landscape programs. Check it out, environment.arlingtonva.us/stormwaterwise. And remember, investing in a combined green and solar roof makes more sense with our climate and weather patterns.
Boy, welcome back. You had a great time out there. Sounds like you brought a little bit of that sunshine with you. We could use a few more sunny days here.
We
though,
could.
right?
Another
Arlington.
200 in some days.
Really.
It would be
And
nice.
also great reporting, right? I
Great
mean, those were
reporting,
some
but
great
that
visuals
sounds like
and
a great
numbers.
trip, and let's all move to Tucson. Why
Yeah,
not?
I love those stats.
Sounds
Sunny,
like
sunny,
a-
sunny.
Sunny,
Hot.
sunny, sunny, and hot. Thanks, Adele. We
Thank you, Adele.
appreciate it. All right, here we go. As promised now, our CBB Community Bulletin Board file. What could be more community or more bulletin-y or even more boardy than attending the upcoming event known as Arlington, Where Art Thou? It's actually called the first annual celebration of the arts in Arlington, but Arlington, Where Art Thou is catchier. And here's what we got: live music, live performances, live presentations, fabulous food, and live beer. Well, I don't know about the beer, but you have to find out for yourself, so check it out. and I said, "Where art thou?" As to where art thou is, it will be at 4301 Wilson Boulevard, right here in Arlington. When art thou? Thursday, October 5, and this year to 2017 from 7 to 10 p.m. Who art thou is anyone and everyone who loves art or wants to learn more about the arts or wants to learn more about county events or wants to celebrate the arts in Arlington. So with more on Where Art Thou, here's Senor Pineda.
That's right, Craig. Now you want to know how much art thou? Well, thou art $50 for tickets. If you're a pirate, think of it as 25 Long John Silvers because he was a buccaneer. Bad puns aside, your ticket entitles you to unlimited drinks and food, although your stomach might have something to say about the concept of unlimited. Plus, you get to dress up as your favorite artist, piece of art, or in any art-themed costume. That being said, it might be tricky going out as Venus de Milo or the Winged Victory of Samothrace.
And also in our Art Thou theme here, why art thou going? Because proceeds from the event will be donated to Arlington Independent Media, who is bringing you the TV show that you're watching right now, or the radio show that you might be listening to on WERA. If it weren't for them, you couldn't be watching or listening, and then where wouldst thou be? So let this be your answer to the question, Arlington, where art thou? You art at a party, at the party, at the arty party, and that's enough of that. Daniel.
Well, Craig, while you're waiting and deciding what costume to wear, why not get into the latest relaxation technique, coloring? Yes, it's called the Coloring Party for adults, and it will take place on Tuesday, September the 26th from 7 to 8 p.m. That's at the Aurora Hills Branch Library, located at 735 South 18th Street in Arlington, Virginia, in the large meeting room. For some reason, the announcement specifics adults age 18 or older. Maybe someone is planning on doing an off-coloring drawing. Anyway, it's free. They'll provide the material, and it sounds like fun. So come on down, Craig.
All right. Well, that's our arty CBB file, and we'll be back with our News for Seniors segment right after we hear from Denise Pringle and her review. Here's Denise.
The Little Theater of Alexandria continues its season with Alfred Urry's Driving Miss Daisy. It begins in 1948 in Atlanta, Georgia, and chronicles the highlights of a 25-year relationship between a 72-year-old rich Jewish woman named Daisy Worthen and her driver, the 60-year-old African-American Hoke Colburn, who becomes her unlikely best friend. Their relationship gets off to a rocky beginning. Daisy has crashed her car, and her son Boody has decided it is time for him to hire a driver for his mother. He decides that Hoke would be perfect, but that decision leaves Daisy infuriated. Not only has Bully curtailed her independence and made decisions for her, but he has also inserted a stranger into her home, and Daisy feels personally violated. Naturally, she directs her displeasure at Hoke and decides she will not allow him to drive her anywhere. This impasse lasts 6 days before she lets him drive her to the Piggly Wiggly for groceries. When Hoke phones Bully to report his phenomenal progress, he mentions that it all happened in 6 days, the same amount of time God needed to make the world. Daisy is very frugal and always blusters when Hoke acknowledges that she is actually a rich woman. 25 years of faithful service can soften almost any hard heart, and the last scene of the play shows Hoke's final visit to Daisy, when Bully has driven him to her nursing home. When Hoke lovingly feeds Daisy her Thanksgiving pie, we do see what close friends they have become. Director Jim Howard has elicited rich, satisfying performances from his 3-person cast. Patricia Kratzer's Daisy is tough and cranky, but Kevin Sockwell's Hoke is consistently respectful and devoted. Joel Durgovich ranges from a frustrated son trying to make the best difficult decisions for his bristly mother, to a fulfilled, mature man who gets to witness the tender friendship that he has brokered. Driving Miss Daisy continues at the Little Theater of Alexandria through September 30th. Daisy will not allow Hoke to drive fast enough for a bumpy ride, but her conversation can be a bit frosty. Ultimately, it's a journey you will be sure to enjoy. I'm Denise Pringle. Now back to the news desk.
Take two. Where art thou? We're still working on where art thou. Who sculpted Venus de Milo? That's the question of the week. We'll get back to you on that. As promised now, here's our news for senior segment. Well, there'll be a presentation at Walter Reed called Reading Food Labels. Sounds pretty obvious, right? Some people think it's just a way to avoid buying a ham when you've been sent to the store for eggs. Well, there's more to it than that. Knowing how to interpret food labels will help you make intelligent nutrition choices that could improve your overall health. Ana Caballero, an Arlington dietitian nutritionist, will lead the discussion. Takes place at 10 in the morning, Thursday, September 21st at Walter Reed Community and Senior Center and Park. They're located at 2909 16th Street South, right here in Arlington. For more information, call Leanne at 703-228-0955. Daniel.
And Craig, after this show, we might want to go to Arlington, Where Art Thou for the beer, right?
Art thou.
Well, Craig, some people think of salt as a spice, and some people think that sodium is the same as salt. If those people were correct, I wouldn't be sitting here being all snug and telling you they're wrong. But they are, in fact, mistaken. Salt is actually 60% chloride and only 40% sodium. So what, right? Actually, it really does matter. It turns out that the excessive sodium intake can lead to high blood pressure, strokes, and kidney disease. So we just cut out sodium, right? No, because nerves rely on a certain amount of sodium, and so muscles can contact. So how much is enough and how much is too much, Craig?
Also, yes, it's not the sodium, it's the chloride, sodium chloride. Well, I'm glad you asked. A range between 1,500 and 2,300 milligrams per day for most adults. Now, how do you actually know that? Well, one way is to read the label on the food that you buy, as we mentioned earlier. Another way is to be sparing in your intake of foods like condiments, such as ketchup, mayo, salad dressing, soups, tomato sauce, cured meats like sausage and bologna and pepperoni, and processed cheese. This list does include some ingredients for pizza, which shouldn't count, but it does. So just remember, you can still have a little, just don't pig out. Daniel.
Yes, moderation, right, Craig?
Moderation, moderation, moderation.
Well, here's something to get really excited about. A 2-hour performing art showcase at the Lee Center. This year's show features the Lee Line Dancers, the Sultana Tom and Fran's Partner Dance, and Carl's Gold Folk Music Chorus. It all takes place on Saturday, that's September the 23rd, from 2 to 4 p.m. at the Lee Community and Senior Center and Park. That's located at 5722 Lee Highway in Arlington, Virginia. For more information, call Adriana Carr at 703-228-0555.
All right, Daniel. Well, thanks, Daniel. We'll be back with a little wrap-up, sign-off and bye-bye right after we hear from our styrofoam mom, Miriam Gennari, and her guests. Here's Miriam.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of the Sustainable Scoop. I'm here in Tempe, Arizona, trying to solve one of the nation's largest problems and recycling nightmares, and it is styrofoam. Of course, this product takes up 25% of our landfills, and right now in many counties that don't have landfill space available, they burn it. However, I've traveled to Tempe, Arizona to meet with my guest today, Dan Choinard. He is the inventor and he is the founder of EF Block, Earth Friendly Block. What is your Earth Friendly Block made of, Dan?
Our Earth Friendly Block is made of 87% recycled post-consumer styrofoam. So instead of it going in the landfill, like you mentioned, and getting buried forever, we take it, intercept it, grind it up, mix it with Portland cement, some other green additives, and make brand new building block out of it. You
build houses out of styrofoam?
Absolutely.
Dan, would you take a moment and show us how the process works with your display wall here?
Absolutely. You would stack the block up, check it for plumb, and then you spot glue it, just enough to hold it in place. When you stab in the metal dispenser, the glue will expand into the substrate and give you a mechanical bond as well as a chemical bond from the glue in there.
Okay.
Once it's all up, true, plumb, then you drop in the rebar, and this here represents the concrete grout itself.
That's this big, heavy block right here.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. And that's it?
That's it. It's
That's
that
the whole
simple.
process.
That's the whole process.
Yeah.
You can put corner 8 on it and do the crispest contemporary, or you can rasp it off and soften the corners and edges and do a very territorial or Santa Fe look.
Gotcha. And this block here is an example of your EF block that you use to build houses.
Absolutely.
What percentage of this is recycled styrofoam?
87% is recycled post-consumer styrofoam.
Gotcha. And what is the value of building with styrofoam, knowing that it has great insulating properties?
Well, there's many, many reasons. The thermal qualities are 40 per Oak Ridge National Laboratory. Soundproofing, fire rating, bugs don't eat it or nest in it. It goes up very, very quick. We had a customer in Mesa, Arizona add 400 square feet to his house on the west side of his house, and his utility bill went down $100 a month.
So what's the benefit to somebody, not just the insulating values, but what are some of the other benefits to having a stable, sustainable home? What are the properties?
Our customers buy it for many, many reasons. The thermal qualities, like we mentioned. They also buy it because of the recycled content. They buy it because of the fireproof or fire-resistant qualities. It's virtually, we've got YouTube videos we filmed where it just does not burn. We have customers that have used it because of termites. They lost their entire house to termites, and termites don't eat it or nest in it.
So what you're saying is that it doesn't degrade, and it also doesn't absorb organic material?
It does not.
It does not. How is it with the water?
We did some testing. We actually floated a block for 6 months in the back of our shop and tested it, and no damage at all. We have a professor up at Northern Arizona University, Tony DeCou, and Tony lived in his home for 10 years before he coated the outside. Had snow piled against it, driving rain against it.
No degradation.
Didn't hurt anything.
Really? And now, what about issues of catching fire or off-gassing?
Again, it doesn't burn. There's no off-gassing. It's all post-consumer styrofoam. We did a house in Tucson for the American Lung Association because there's absolutely no outgassing, unlike the plywoods and formaldehydes you get and everything else.
So what do you do with the waste product? What block you don't use?
That's the beautiful thing. The leftovers can be ground up and introduced back into new block up to 25%.
It seems to me like in areas where, you know, things can be cost prohibitive to hire people, or you want to do something yourself, having something that's so lightweight to be able to put together allows anybody to build a home like that.
That's absolute. About 75% of our customers are do-it-yourselfers. They do their own block. And for instance, a mason or concrete block home, they'll have 5 journeymen and 2 laborers. When you do an EF block home, you'll have 1 or 2 journeymen and 5 laborers.
Now, in terms of producing the block itself, is that a difficult process?
Not at all. Not at all.
Right.
Our manufacturing facilities are under $400,000, and the return on investment is less than a year.
And you have a relationship with Lowe's Home Improvement.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
That's not an easy thing to get. How did that come about?
No. We had customers that went to Lowe's trying to get it, and Lowe's contacted us, and we sell through Lowe's throughout the U.S.
So what is your dream for your company, EF Block, and the recycling of styrofoam?
My goal is to have a manufacturing facility in every state, at least every state, and that would be located next to a recycle center where they sort their trash. And the number one goal is to get the waste management companies to collect the styrofoam. And then when it gets to the sorting area, pull it out, make brand new block, and take it to the job site.
So is there any excuse not to recycle this post-consumer styrofoam?
Not at all.
There isn't. No excuses at all.
No.
If you can build a plant, you can build homes, and you can just keep taking it as it comes in.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic. Dan Choinard of EF Block, how do we get in touch with you?
Well, you can go to our website, efblock.com. You can Google EF Block YouTube. You could like us on Facebook, or you can call 480-830-5393.
And there's information on how to build these houses.
Absolutely. We got how-to books. We have all the different YouTube videos. We have everything you need.
Awesome. Dan, I think you've just solved the problem, and you're going to save the world.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much. I've been in search of you for a long time.
Well, thank you, and we truly appreciate you coming here and having the opportunity to be on your show and with you.
I'm Miriam Gennari. That's the Sustainable Scoop. Back to the news desk.
Miriam, our Styrofoam mom.
Thank you, Miriam.
Talking to Mr. Dan Choinard about EF block, earth-friendly block.
Sounds really cool.
Styrofoam. That's pretty cool.
That's really cool.
Post-consumer styrofoam.
Great development.
That's pretty good stuff. All right. Thanks, Miriam. You appreciate it. And that's our show here for this somewhere around the middle part of September, just before the fall equinox. Not the equinox.
No,
What is it? Not the
first day of autumn.
The first day of autumn. The solstice? No, it's not the solstice.
The end of summer?
The end of summer. Well, with these temperatures, I mean, we could take a little bit more of this. These 80s. That's really pretty incredible.
I wouldn't mind the 70s.
Well, the 70s wouldn't be bad either. Anything else to add, folks, before we say goodbye?
Have a great weekend.
Time for another assignment.
See us back next week.
We're glad to see Adele back from her
assignment.
in
Dun, dun, dun,
Tucson.
dun,
Very
dun,
nice.
dun, dun.
Next time you might have room for like a reporter or a photographer.
Yeah, let's team up next time. Absolutely.
Let's team up. Let's do that. All right, that's our show. Thanks to all of you out there for watching out there in TV land. And next week, if you're there, we'll be here and we'll try it all again. Have a safe week. Bye-bye.